What's up, world? Hey, thank y'all again for tuning in. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit that notification bell, the little bell, hit that button there, so that way every time I drop a video, you will be the first to be notified. I want to give a special thanks and shout out to everybody who has continued to watch my content, those who have subscribed. Every time I look up, I get a couple of new subscribers, and I'm thankful for every last one of you. Yes, it is a slow process, and that's fine. As long as you're there with the long haul, eventually we will all reap the benefits. But today, I want to bring a story from the G.R.O.W.T.H website, but this is like a national story. Maybe a couple of days ago, it was on every news outlet that you could think of. But this is about the new legislation will require women, just like men, to sign up to be potentially drafted. No lie, true story. Like I said, this story comes out of the G.R.O.W.T.H, and I'm going to read a few notes I have and give you my comments during and after. So, what it states is that a U.S. Senate committee, Democrats, has approved legislation that would, if enacted, require young women to register for the Selective Service alongside men. Now, I know when I got ready to graduate high school, I was informed that I would have to register for Selective Service. Like, it was the law that when you graduate or turn 18 or what have you, got 6 months to, to sign up, to register. And I guess it's for like military reasons, whether you join in the military or not, because it's in case, war breaks out and they have a draft, they're gonna pull your name. And if you get drafted, you have to go. But so this is a requirement of when you graduate. Now I think now they make like immigrants do it too. I think you got from the age of 18 to 24 years old. If you're an immigrant or what have you, you have to do it within a certain amount of time too. But with that being said, now the Senate is trying to pass legislation that's going to require women to do the same thing. And it said this is for like in a rare event of a war or other national emergency, they could be drafted for the first time in the nation's history. Now, they try to say that it may never happen in this lifetime or in many lifetimes. But they said the same thing about Obama, a black person or so-called black person or whatever his nationality is, somebody of his color, of our color, being the president in our lifetime. Thought we'd never see that. Amazing we saw it, so never say never is what I say. They say, but even though the draft is no more, most young men, including immigrants, are required to register with the military selective service. As it says, a federal law requires registration. The new legislation, authored by Senator Armed Services Committee Chairman Jack Reed, Democrat, Rhode Island, will remove any reference to male in the current law, leaving women on an equal playing field. Now, my question is, feminists, is this what you asked for? I would think so. Feminists are always saying that they want to be equal to men. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, Marlon, we're not talking about that. We're talking about equal pay. Okay, well, equal pay, you do equal job. If you're doing an equal job, I agree. You should get equal pay. If you bring in equal revenue, I agree. You should get equal pay. Kind of like the NBA, WNBA. WNBA, I've seen the games. I've seen the televised games. Y'all, well, before even pre-corona, even now, you're not bringing in those crowds like the NBA. Now, I see the merchandise sales, the shoe deals. You're just not bringing in that kind of revenue. So saying that the WNBA should be paid the same as the NBA, it's kind of far-fetched. But yet, like something like, say, tennis, you got like Serena Williams, Venus Williams, I would think that they would bring in the same revenue. Matter of fact, they all play in the same building at the same time in these championships. So I would understand like them asking for equal revenue. But again, back to the feminists. We're gonna stay on this. You want to be equal. So now those Democrats that you voted for are going to make sure you get what you asked for. Now them removing any reference to male, I don't think this has so much to do with the feminism or feminist movement more than like the LGBTQ plus movement, like the transgender part of that. Because you have some guys out of here who want to be women, taking hormones, whatever kind of surgeries they doing, whatever. And they want to be classified as women, but yet you still have the same physical attributes. As a man, you can still pretty much do the same thing physically as a man. Just like look at the guy that's lifting weights, not lifting weights, but powerlifting for the US. Call himself a woman, say he's been transgender for like 6 years, 9 years, or what have you. They letting him do it. Cat taking all kind of hormones, but you're still strong as an ox. But anyway, or these guys that go out here play these sports and halfway kill these women because they want to, identify as female or as a woman, but go out here, you out running these women, you're beating these women up in these MMA matches, these boxing matches, these wrestling matches, throwing them out the arena, and you're proud of this shit, which I don't understand how, but I don't know. Man, that's just some sick stuff. Anyway, but also says here, not everyone is on board. Committee member Josh Hawley, Republican, Missouri. Now, understand, when I say Democrat, Republican, I'm just trying to make a point to my people that want to vote straight down a ticket and not understand the issues that each candidate has, that they represent. So you have, like I say, Democrats. And people want to say they want to vote straight down Democrat. And it's like, but then you turn around and you get this. You got people that want to vote straight Republican, but then you get these laws that try to do voter suppression and stuff. So like I say, it's not that you want to vote straight down a ticket. You want to vote you want to go by each individual candidate and what they represent. Mainly trying to stay on that local vote. And then when you want to, you want to get on that national vote, you got to get your weight and your money up. But anyway, as I was saying, committee member Josh Hawley, Republican of Missouri, announced his opposition to the measure. Tweeting, American women have heroically served in and alongside our fighting forces since our nation's founding. Now, it's one thing to allow American women to choose this service, but it's quite another to force it upon our daughters, sisters, and wives. Missourians feel strongly that compelling women to fight our war is wrong, and so do I. Now, you're going to have some people that say, oh, man, when they get drafted, they're not going to have to necessarily fight. They might do like nursing or, other medical field jobs or STEM jobs or computer jobs. Yeah, right. That sounds good on paper, but when you got these dudes out here that that don't want to join the military, which is probably why they will probably start a draft here sooner than we think. Or again, you're going to have men out here, or women. You're going to have women who want to sit here and try to identify as men and do what men do. They may want to fight. So, they're not going to sit there and, weed out who can and who can't and who will and who won't. They're just going to put them all out there. You know this, I know this. So it says women have been serving at all levels in the military since 2013 when the Pentagon opened up front line ground combat positions to them. Who's the president in 2013? Anyway, so and supporters of the Reid legislation, which is again the guy who brought this to the forefront, say it's high time that women sign up, particularly since the service has changed dramatically since the Vietnam era. Senate aide said this is not our grandfather's military. And which is true. Because I do know some people who were drafted, knew some people and know people who were drafted during the Vietnam War. like I said, like over 2 million people were drafted over like an 8-year period, I believe. Yeah, like an 8-year period, 9-year period, 64 to 73. And I know guys who, I mean, they just said that war, took a toll on them. A lot of them alcoholics, drug addicts. I mean, shoot, that military is something else. The military is something else. But it says, so while a draft is highly unlikely in many of our lifetimes, none of that raises the same arguments about physicality. All the things that we're used to arguing for a male-only draft, it's a different world. When asked if President Joe Biden supports the change, a White House aide pointed to a September 2020 Military Officers Association of America candidate forum, in which then candidate Biden said, and I quote, "The United States does not need a larger military, and we don't need a draft at this time. I would, however, ensure that women are also eligible to register for the Selective Service system so that men and women are treated equally in the future event of future conflicts." When I think of conflict, I think of war. I think of fighting. I don't think of computer jobs, STEM jobs. I think they're gonna try to put them women out there. They say they're already out there opening up for front line, opening up the front lines for women to fight in 2013. You didn't think this was coming? Oh man, I should have seen this coming a mile away. In the Supreme Court earlier this year, the ACLU challenged the constitutionality of an all-male draft legislation, but the acting Solicitor General pointed to likely action from Congress in arguing that the high court hold off on making a judgment, which it eventually acceded to. So, it said that the Senate nearly passed the legislation back in 2017, but instead a national commission was created to study the issue. Well, they're good at studying the issue. It's funny they studied this issue, but they're still studying reparations too, so we'll see how long that takes. All this damn studying, along with a wider mandate to look at national public service in general. In reviewing the question of whether selective service registration should include women, the commission seriously considered a wide range of deeply felt moral, legal, and practical arguments in exploring the available empirical evidence. The commission concluded that time is right to extend selective service system registration to include men and women between the ages of 18 and 26. This is a necessary fair step. It's a necessary and fair step, making it possible to draw the talent of the unified nation in a time of national emergency, the report concluded. Taken together, the Senate aide said the sentiment was, if we're going to have a draft, a selective service system, then women have to be involved. And I'm going to say this. That's enough of that. So the Senate Army Service Committee passed Act 23-2. So I'm just going to say this. This here to me is ridiculous. Seriously ridiculous. To actually think that it's okay to draft women into the armed services. I mean, there has to be more details to this story. Like, who do you draft? Because I know, like, dealing with men, I think you can't draft the only son unless, or the youngest boy unless like absolutely necessary. But there are reasons why they could be, circumvented. So what are you gonna do with women? You're gonna not draft mothers if they got little kids? And if you do, what's gonna happen to their children? Now you got to make sure they have daycare, be taken care of for 2-3 years? What if they're single mothers? Are you going to draft them or not draft them? What if they married? I mean, what if the father is the bread, works primarily, and now you draft his wife or the mother of his children, and he has, be taken off, and she be taken off. How you going to accommodate him? Now, in the past, when they drafted the men, the government paid the women. I did a video about that, how back in the day, how, white women tears made to where Aboriginal women, they try to make pass laws, have laws passed where they had to go back to work because They didn't want to clean their own nasty ass house. And these sisters were at home getting paid by the government because their husband was in the service, just like the white women. But anyway, so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna take these people away, and I guess you're gonna pay the fathers of these children money. I mean, how old are the women gonna have to be? I mean, they're gonna be, it's gonna be, I guess the same age, 18 to 26. But I know, as a father with 2 daughters and a house and family full of women, there's no way in the world, in the hell, am I going to sit there and approve of these women, whatever age. I don't care if they're grown out of my house. It don't matter for them to get drafted to go to the military. I send them to Canada. Well, I send them to Africa or Mexico. Well, probably not Mexico. It's kind of crazy right now. But I send them to Africa, Mexico, Italy, wherever. Liberia, anywhere but here. Because, like I say, this is crazy. There's no like rhyme or reason to it, but other than I do believe that they're gearing up for a war, and a major war, sometime soon. You see they're pulling soldiers out of Iraq, so Iran and them out there. You got these militia groups out there just can't wait till America leave, because they already taking over ISIS people, whatever, taking over these lands that America is leaving. And then you still got the conflicts with Russia right now. Still got some of the conflicts with China. Now we know China and Russia, don't forget, is it South Korea or North Korea? I think it's North Korea. Don't forget, them guys are don't forget, they have a military, and they have America having problems with them. So it's a few countries out here that America are having conflicts with right now. So it's quite possible that sooner than we expect, some type of military conflict will brew. And if that's the case, you got to be ready. I know they say we spend more on military than any other nation in the world, which is crazy, which is why I don't see why you would have to do a draft where you have to draft women for frontline combat, because it will happen. Because even if you draft women, every woman ain't going to college. Every woman don't have a degree. Every woman don't have a business. You got a lot of women who still work regular jobs like everybody else. You got women out here with 2-3 jobs trying to raise kids. So let's just, like I said, let's just keep it real. There will be some women out there on the front line. But with that being said, that's my take on it. Tell me what you think. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to support the channel, now you can support it at the CashApp, Patreon page, and the website. You can see all 3 in the description box below. Also, you want to start your own YouTube channel. Like I said before, sign up to TubeBuddy. It'll help your channel grow, help you understand how to navigate through this to make your channel better, the best it can be. And also, got any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up on the email. Leave your comments below. Like I said, hit me an email up. Let me know what you think. And until next time, fam, peace.